Good afternoon, this is Ted from the Devils in the Detail. We've had this lovely Ferrari in that you've just watched Glenn do the wash and decontamination on, and basically it's just come from the body shop. If you look at the front end of the car, you can see this is a freshly painted car, but there is still, you probably won't see it very well on the camera, some of the repairs. It's got lacquer pop and scarring, and this literally is a 3-day old paint job. So what I'm going to do, it'll still be gassing out really, so I'll be starting at the back of the car, and this is where the fun's going to be. The whole front end's been painted and it's been blended into this door. The other door they haven't blended. So as you move back through the car, you'll notice that there's a sudden change in colour. And I'm sure now Reggie's going to zoom into this paintwork and scan over the car. And as you can see, the paint's oxidised. Not the first time we've had it, and it won't be the last, but this is seriously oxidised. So what we're going to do, and we're going to go over the whole car. I'm going to start at the back and work my way forward, let the paint gas out at the front more, ready for me to correct that again. But in between, although the budget is a bit restrictive on this car, my passion and enthusiasm for this model isn't limited. So I'm going to remove the vents, the bonnet vents, the mirrors, and I'm going to repaint the door frames. I'm going to repaint the vinyl roof, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this car look like the car it should. This car, when I was a youngster and watched Magnum, this was the car that sparked my enthusiasm for cars and my love for Ferrari cars. So, because of what it is, and as usual, regardless of the budget, I'm going to do whatever it takes, and the budget won't really reach to it, but I want to make it look lovely. So it's on me, there's no time limit on how long I can have the car, and I guess it's going to take me a couple of weeks, but I think it will be worth it in the end. So now Glenn's cleaned it all for me, he's done all the shuts, so he's done the intricate parts that I can go straight in, he's done the door jambs, the shuts, the engine bay's been cleaned. Not that it looks like it very much, but it has been. This was full of filler dust, and it looked more white than anything else. So, you know, we'll do a little bit under the bonnet. We're not going to go mad. Like I say, the budget isn't really big enough to warrant a complete restoration, but we'll do what we can. So Monday morning, it's now Saturday, I'm going to start stripping all the parts off, all the badges, as much as I can. Some of them don't come off, but the vents will come out. The door handle, I'm going to repaint. These vents, anything that I can help make the car look better. And I'll be showing basically try and do it on a daily or 2-day basis, the progress that I'm getting through the job. There's a little bit of leather recolouring to do inside, but that's a minor. And I'm looking forward to getting stuck into it on Monday. So wait for the next video and see where we're going. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy it, come back and watch the next one. Thank you very much. Good morning, this is Ted from The Devil's in the Detail. I've just started on the Ferrari and give it an initial couple of passes using the Presta wall system. I've got a fine here I tried first. As you can see, took some of the oxidizing off but wasn't coarse enough. So I've gone to the more coarse black Presta wall pad, and initially it looks like it's getting a bit of a result, but there are, try and point them out, some really deep patches that look like they're going to take a lot more cutting. Now I've measured the paint thickness and there is plenty of paint on it, and it's obvious by some fish eyes there that it's been repainted. So I'm confident there's quite a lot of paint on it, so I'm not frightened to give it some more heavy cuts before I start and see if after a few more cuts this still looks too deep. I'm going to wet flat it, but initially I've only done 3 passes on this and it's starting to give it some reflection, as you can see. So I'm going to proceed, and I'm now going to do the whole of this section. I just thought I'd do a 50-50 comparison initially, just to show the sort of difference that we're likely to start gaining. This is nowhere near the finished product, but it does show promise. So I'm going to crack on with it. I'll show you a bit more later. See you later. wait for the compressor to stop and I'll explain what I've been doing. I've just been wet sanding and I'm using a 2000 grit soft backed pad. I've kept lubricating the panel to wash any of the paint residue down the panel while I'm flatting so that it doesn't get trapped in the pad and create deep pigtails. You've also seen that I would be squirting the pad on a regular basis just to wash it out. Basically, there was some bad paint defects, like something had been dripped down the panel. So I've just been levelling them out. I'm going to go across the whole of the boot. It'll also help remove the deep residue, and then we'll start repolishing it. So at the moment, I'm going to carry on flattening the whole of the panel, and then we'll come back to it with some polishing. I'll see you in a bit. You can see where they've painted.
Bigger. So now
As you can see, I've been wet flatting or as many of the defects as I can out of the engine cover, and started the polishing process. It's not perfect, but it's getting close to being, well, I suppose it's never going to be perfect, but good enough, let's say. So I'm going to start on this part now, but it's improving it. I'll crack on, see how far we get with this today. Well, yesterday, or the day before, you heard me full of enthusiasm for doing this car. Unfortunately, the enthusiasm's dwindling a little bit. This is what's under the paint. I'm going to try and flat it out again, but some of it I've started to get up quite well with more flatting. So that's what I'm going to aim for, trying to get it as close to that. It's not perfect, but it's coming on. But the paint job is one of the worst I've ever seen, and it's as you can see, we've got lacquer pop everywhere. Of course, you couldn't see this underneath the oxidising, so basically it's just revealed itself as I've cleaned the panels up. So a bit more wet flatting, or a lot more wet flatting, which has been going on most of the panels. I'm just going to try and get it as good as I can. You know, I mean, can't, you know, do miracles, but if I can get all the panels to look like this wing, then I'll be quite happy, and I'm sure the owner will, although the colours don't match up between the front end and the back end. But I'm not going to repaint it, so I'll just do the best I can do and make it look a bit cleaner, but it's getting there slowly. You can see the back panel still full of oxidisation. I haven't done that yet. Somebody's already started to have a go at this side and give up by the looks of it, so we'll get there. But again, this is how it started out, so I think that that's an improvement. Not perfect, but an improvement. We'll keep going on it anyway. I'm not going to give up. You know, I'm still going to do whatever I can. If I feel that I can achieve it, I will. But I think we'll have to draw the line somewhere. But no, it's coming on. I knew it was going to be a lot of work before I even started, so, you know, I'm not surprised. So anyway, that's the progress, and I'll let you know when I get a bit further. But it's probably took me to do, well, first cut on this top bar and to do this wing to this point, which is still got some refinement to do. It's probably took me most of the day. So it's not been a quick job by any means, but nothing ever is it? Right then, well, I'll see you on the next one, and then we'll see how we're getting on. See you later, and thanks for watching. Hi, this is Ted from The Devil's in the Detail. Thought I'd give a bit of a progress report of how the Ferrari's going. And as you can see, it's going from that to that. Unfortunately, the lights had been glued in. I didn't want to break the lenses trying to lever them out, so I've had to really just make us do with what I could do with them in. But as you can see, even the lights have come up better. It's been a bit tougher than I thought, but using my array of Menzerna polishes, and my flex machines, we're getting there slowly. The hood, I think, will have to be repainted. It's just not responding very good at all. Some of it I've managed to get up, but other bits are plain hard to get. But I'm going to keep moving around the car and see what we can do with it. We can get it all like this, I'll be happy. So there you are, there's the update, and I'll see you again soon. When we're polishing light lenses up, it always leaves some paste residue in the letters that are stamped
or part of the moulding of the light, so that's what I'm going to use to remove them. Some panel wipe. And just carefully go around the letters to remove the paste. Nobody wants to see all the letters sticking up. And now that's not so defined. And we're going to go around all the letters and grooves in the lamp. I'm not going to go over the whole of the lens because I've polished it and I don't want to scratch it with a brush, but just some careful brushing in the letters, loosen the residue up. And they look like brand new. You can see here, it looks white, it's got stuck inside the letters. There you go, as good as new. Another little tip that I've shown, and makes a massive difference when you look at the lamps. I'm going to let it dry, see if there's any more I've missed, and then I'll go over it again if necessary. But there you go, that's the sort of thing we do, cleaning up after ourselves. Good morning, it's Ted from The Devil's in the Detail. I thought I'd give another progress report. This door handle is now repainted in satin black. The roof panel is well underway, having a few more coats of vinyl paint. Just letting that one dry off. The grills that go under the boot louvers both been painted. They're ready to go back on. The louvers are here. I've got to clean them up. The rear quarter louvers are going to be repainted, but I haven't done them yet. The paint work on the rear of the car is virtually, to a satisfactory level now. Just a bit more to do, one more refining stage, and that's coming on. The boot lid needs repainting. I can't take it any further than I have, but I'm going to work my way down the car and then try and correct what the body shop has done. It looks alright on the pictures, but I can assure you it's not. It's not the best job in the world, and yet it's been done by a well-known good painter. I suppose he hasn't had the budget either, so it's up to me to make it look a bit better. And slowly we're progressing. I think I've got the back up better than I thought I would initially. You know, I was full of enthusiasm for the car, and you know, it's been hard work to get it like this. You know, there was a point where I did think, you know, am I going to be able to justify, you know, spending the chap's money? But I've carried on and done some wet flatting, try and level it out in places and get rid of the deep oxidation. Fortunately, it's been repainted 2 or 3 times, so there was plenty of paint on it. Yeah, it's coming on. Quite pleased with the progress. I've got to do this bar across the roof, get that finished, finish this rear quarter down the bottom. But no, I'm pleased, it's coming on, and as you can see, there's still quite a bit to do. Good job, there's no time limit on the job. I want to repaint these, but I've tried to remove them and the screws won't come out, so I might have to paint them on the car just to improve it. I've got to do this door handle. I'll do that shortly, I suppose. This mirror needs doing as well. Like I say, that door handle's well underway, just drying off. Managed to clean up inside the filler bowl. Yeah, starting to look a lot fresher, and I'm sure he's not going to be disappointed. So I'm going to crack on, and I'll see you on the next one. Right, progress report. Now, done the front wing and brought that up a lot better. I've got to try and correct some of this really bad paint work. You can see the difference in finish. Like I've said before, I'm never going to get this perfect, but I've got to try and bring it up somehow. Can't let the car go out like this. So, I've got plenty to do. Should have been the easiest part of the job, with having the front painted, but that's not the case. So I'm going to try and get the rest up to match that. See you later. Hi, it's Ted from The Devil's in the Detail. It's Monday morning, fresh start, feeling fresh, and one of the things I want to accomplish today is to try and revive the finish on this bonnet. Now, it's virtually impossible for me to I'm not the greatest with a camera, as you all know, but you probably could see the flatting marks that I'm trying to show. And if you look over here, there's some lack of burst or lack of pop in the panels. This is on the freshly painted section of the car that I'm tasked with trying to get looking half decent. I did say to the owner that I probably wasn't going to even touch the bonnet because of the defects that's in it, but I'm sure you know me by now, I'm not one to give up easy. So that's going to be my task for this morning at least. See what I can do with it. If it doesn't respond, then I'll just give it a quick lick over to try and get some gloss back on it, because it's that bad that it just looks frosty. So anyway, I'm going to get on with it and I'll show you what the results are. Whether they'll be any good or not, I don't know, but we can only do our best. So I'll see you a little bit later. I'm going to get on and see if I can get something happening with it. So I'll see you in a bit. Ta-da. Got the rotary machine with quite a firm pad. I'm using Menzerner 1000 heavy cutting paste. This bonnet's already been flatted or wet flatted by the body shop and repolished, and there's still loads of flatted marks as I've shown in the paint. So rather than wet flat it again and then have to get my marks out as well, I'm going to try and cut them out in small sections. Don't want to overheat the bonnet, it's a flat panel. I'm using a rotary machine which will increase the heat. So I'll be doing short sets and short distances. I won't be able to talk while this is on because you won't hear it, it'll be too noisy. I just thought I'd show a section, and I'll explain why I'm using a rotary on a later video. Now that's one short set, and as you've seen I only done a short area, and we are removing some of the flatting marks, although there are some deeper marks still left in. So what I'm going to do is I shall be going over this area again. I'm just going to let the bonnet cool down a little bit before I start up with the next set, and I'll probably do 3 or 4 sets and then move on to a different area and go through the bonnet, doing that with the coarse paste, and then we'll follow up with a softer pad and a less aggressive compound, which will remove some of the swirl marks that I'm leaving with the heavier cut paste, which will then refine it and increase the gloss. Obviously not with as much cut, so I want to get rid of as many of the faults that I can see during this stage of the polishing. So I expect to leave slight swirls off the pad, but I'm trying to remove the flatting marks first. So I'm going to crack on, and it's probably going to take me an hour to get round the bonnet, and then we'll start the next stage of the refinement to bring the gloss up and get rid of the marks that the mop's leaving. I'm not letting it run too long, so that because this is a flat bonnet, if we distort it we'll be able to see it. So I'll let it cool. It's cool now, and then I'm going to move on and keep doing that till I'm satisfied that I've got rid of as many of the flatting marks that I can. We're never going to get perfection with this bonnet because, like I said before, the preparation during the paint isn't the best I've seen, but we certainly get it up better. So there we are. I'll leave you with that. You're not going to want to watch an hour of me doing the same thing, so we'll move on. One thing I will say is I've taped the edge of the wing up so that I can get closer to the edge. Because I'm using a rotary and not an orbital, I have more control in cutting the edge of the panel, but I don't want to overlap and be hitting the wing because we could burn through. So that's why that's taped off, and as you can see, everything else is masked off because of the flick from the compound. So there we are. I'll see you on the next video, and we'll see how we're going. It's all coming on now. Give you a quick walk around. It's looking a lot better than it was. It's not perfect by a long way, but it does look a lot better. At least we got some reflection and you don't look frosty. So I've just got the lower front spoiler to do, and then the polishing's finished, and then I can start on the interior of the car. And I've got to remove the water tank from the engine bay and repaint that for him. And the mirrors I was going to do, I think I mentioned before, I can't get the screws out and I'm not prepared to break anything. And it does spoil it, so I might just mask up from here and prep them and paint them just so it looks a little bit better. I've done that much work now, it doesn't matter. A little bit more won't hurt, but starting to look like a car should. And I'm sure it's going up for sale as soon as he gets it back. At least it looks a bit better than it did when it arrived, and we can't ask for any more than that. So there we are. I'll do a proper walk around when it's all finished. Like I say, it's only the front spoiler to do now, and then I'll just go over it and check that I've not missed anything important, and we can. Right, so I've removed the vent out the bonnet. There was paint coming off with the masking, so I've redone them. Obviously somebody just sprayed over without any preparation, so I've done it properly this time. And the rear quarter vent for the offside, or well, this is a left-hand drive car, so passenger side, that's been done. So